I'll show you quickly how you do the back heel. So yeah, you just want to push your thumbs in this way, like that. And then you want to round it out this way. Okay. So from the side, you can see it comes out a little bit, right? And then you got the lines in the back. So then that looks like a heel. Okay. And then, for the actual toes, first thing you do is you take a tool, your tool of choice, and you cut the toes. And obviously when you do this, you'll probably be doing it like the width that you actually want the toes and stuff. But yeah, you just want to make basic cuts for where you want them positioned. Like so. Okay? And then, I'm only going to do the big toe to show you guys. But first thing you do is shape the toe. So, there's like a little indentation here. Like the foot, it's not a straight line. It goes in a little bit here. So you want to make sure you have that groove. And you'll notice that I cut the toes really long. And there's a reason for that. And I'll show you in a bit. So yeah. I want to make sure these are all curved and rounded. There are no sharp edges on a foot or on majority of the parts of your body. Everything's quite rounded. So if you happen to see something that is sharp, it's usually because it's like an artistic vision or somebody wants it to be that specific way, but the human body's not actually like that. Okay, so once you have the basic toe shape, like so, then you want to make this, you want to sculpt this area. So you have the cut, obviously, that we already did, and you want to just pull this clay back a little bit. Okay, so it's kind of like you want to smooth this out, if that makes sense. So if you can see this, it's not like on fingers you would draw lines here, right? Like for the actual bones, but you can't see it on a foot. So all you want to do is just make this rounded, because it's not sharp, and then smooth it out after. Okay, and then for the actual toe, the reason why I left it long is because what you're going to do underneath is you're going to indent this like so. Okay, this is kind of a bad example because it doesn't happen as much on the big toe, but you would indent that and then you would push it up here like that to give it that arch, because your toes don't go flat, they kind of bend a little bit, right? So for example, if I was to do one of these toes, I would push it in right here and then curve it down on the top, so it kind of makes the toes bend like so. Not that much, but you get the idea. Okay, so now that I have the toe, I'm going to show you how to do a toenail. And one second. Okay, remember, always flat. Okay, toenail. So, first thing you do is draw the shape of the toenail. So let's say I want it to look like this. Do this like super, super lightly. So there's my toenail. And I'm doing it really big just so that you can get the idea. But I would never actually make it this huge unless I was doing like man feet or troll feet for that matter. Anyways, okay, so once you have the basic line drawn, that's where I want the toe. I'm going to push in the edges slightly all the way around on an angle. So I'm not pushing it like this, I'm pushing it like this, if that makes sense. So instead of, I don't know if you can see this, instead of going like this, I'm going like this. Okay? So slowly and very lightly pushing this in. all the way around, and then take this, and in this motion you want to round out the toe, because toes are not flat, they are curved. They go with the shape of your foot, okay, like so. And then you have all this excess, so you can just use your thumbs and kind of push it down so it's not so overwhelming. But there you have a basic toenail, right? And then on the edges, you once again want to draw the line, connecting those two lines very lightly, like that. And then you want to push this in on an angle. So, can you see that? Like this, like that. Because obviously the toenail goes out farther than the toe. On most cases. Okay? So there you have a toe and a toenail. A really ugly toe and toenail. But you get the idea. And then, so now that you have these basic guidelines, you can kind of do it how you would want it done. But you can see that it looks like a toe. A really ugly toe. But you can get it to a point where you'd want it. And once again, yeah, this goes in under here where it curves. And the highest point here is the middle toe, okay? So technically it curves this way and it curves this way. So you want it to be at an angle like that. Like so. Not so rough, but knees go out and toes arch like that. Okay? So as you can see, the finished foot, they go in. The big toe isn't as much because it doesn't have an arch. It pretty much comes flat out from the foot, but the rest of them arch quite a bit, and it fades out. The pinky toe, same thing, not as much. Also though, the pinky toe, I didn't show you guys, and I don't know if you can see this, maybe on this foot. No, you can't see. Pinky toe curves up here. There's like a little line right here. So it goes like okay, this is a really hack example, but it kind of curves under, like it hooks. See? So you can see that line and make sure it's visible. And it also, it comes out here a little bit, so you can kind of connect the curve that you make here to that arch in the foot. Okay? So not that much, but once again, you're gonna do this way better than I'm doing it right now. But yeah, so there you have kind of like a basic way to make toes. You'll find your own method too. I mean, this is just like a really basic way. There's probably a bunch of stuff that I did differently on these feet than I showed you, but from that point that I did show you, I made these. Like, I moved on and did other techniques and such. If you're wondering about the tools that I made, that I'm using, I got these on eBay. They're dentistry tools or wax carving tools. You can get them at any like dental supply store or on eBay. That's online is probably the best place you can get them. They sell them pretty much everywhere, any sculpting place online or jewelry making place. But yeah, and it came in like a pack of 12, and they're all double-ended, and they all have quite sharp ends. But I did hear that one of my friends, this chick, she gets her dentist's old tools that he doesn't use anymore, and she gets them for free, and there's like a bunch of other tools that I want that I haven't been able to find online that she gets from her dentist. So if you can, ask your dentist if they have any old tools, and you'll get ones like these. And they're like surgical steel. They're really awesome. So try that out. And I don't think there's anything else to say about that. Yeah, so I hope you learned something from this video. And if you have any more questions, you can either comment on my blog or send me an email.